There's so many people coming online to support the abuse, specifically of that Black Somali woman who was hit in the face with the brick, is that she is being punished publicly as a warning to all gender oppressed people. The patriarchal men and their supporters who are coming online to say, oh, well, she's unprotectable, she was asking for it, her behavior is unruly, look at the type of skits that she puts up. They're not saying that because they don't understand the violence that was meted against her. They're saying that because they want to signal to any gender oppressed people that want to operate outside of the scheme of patriarchy that if you don't fall in line and something happens, not only will you not get community help, but you will also be humiliated ritualistically. Many people may think that, well, this is absurd and this is not effective, but it's actually very, very effective. This is the fundamental basis of why conservative women and other women ally with patriarchy. There are social benefits for going along with the system and for allying with patriarchy. And one of those benefits is the ability to try to construct yourself as the perfect victim. Under the system of patriarchy, there are no perfect victims, but there are more perfect victims than other victims. And women that are conservative, women that stay in their place, women that are cis, women that are white, right? Like if you don't have those structures in your benefit, then women that have values that align strongly with patriarchy get the most amount of protection, care, and consideration. And the refusal to give care and consideration to this woman that is liberated, to this woman that is standing in solidarity with trans people publicly, is to signal to all other women who want to not stay in line that there will be consequences to pay. You have to understand that, like, colonized men, colonized cishet men, men of color who are cishet, desire most in this world not liberation, but an exchange of positionality with white cishet men. And for all the conversations that we have about Black women being race first or Black women being, gender first, Black cishet men are actually gender first. Even though they pretend to be race first, they utilize fictive kinship as a way to consolidate power. Nothing is more evidence than their allegiance to patriarchy than the use of the skit as a way to justify her dehumanization and her assault. So those of you who haven't seen this, she has a skit where she slaps a white man and then she walks away and then she starts twerking. And patriarchs have unironically been using this video as justification of her abuse. Which is interesting because just last month we were all celebrating this sort of like Black uprising with the folded chairs against white supremacy. And in the context of the folded chair saga, most of us implicitly sided with Blackness. People who have positive feelings about, Black liberation also sided with the Black people in that video. Yet in this skit, the patriarchs and their supporters are seeing imagery of a Black woman slapping a white man, and they're not identifying or siding with the Black person in the video. They're siding with the white person in the video because he's a man, which illustrates perfectly what the issue is. She's being humiliated for acting outside of the confines of patriarchy. She's being publicly punished and humiliated as a signal to other women that are thinking or considering acting outside of the confines of patriarchy. And patriarchs identify and desire white supremacy. They just don't like that they're not the primary beneficiaries of it. They want to be at the top rather than wanting to be free.